let's look at let's look at our story progress. Okay. Now I'll just go from beginning to end, and I guess this would make a good highlight. This would make a good highlight to kind of go over what I thought about Heart of Thorns. And hey UK Hilson, how are you doing? Thank you for watching. Um, okay. Let's just go through it, okay? Ritlock returned. Just returned badass with his freaking Revenant. We find out Harold powers. Dude, I mean, like, he's just... Oh, it was such a cool moment. But here's the question. We didn't find out anything about him returning. Like, how did he return? Where did he get his powers? I mean, he mentions, like, when he was in the mists, he, like, found a way of harnessing the souls of peoples in the mist as power. But it doesn't really explain for, like, exactly, you know? I don't know. But he came back kick-ass. That was really cool. Ritlock played a good part all the way through the story. I liked it. Really, really good thing. Ritlock returned. Air dying. It freaked me out, dude. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it under any circumstances for Air to die. Especially with Bram. Especially with Bram just like, where's my mom? Where's my mom? Where's my mom? I want to reconnect with my mom. I love her so much. And she dies. And it's just like, no. I mean, I wouldn't expect... I expected Zoja to die. Logan Thackeray to die. I was pegging. I was... If there was an online betting thing, I was betting for Kate to die. Because I said, you know, once she kind of disobeyed our trust, but running away with the egg, you know, then, you know, she had, you know, a history with Fallon, and, you know, so she wasn't the cleanest, Savari. I don't know. I don't know. And so Air dying really hit me hard, and it really made me think, like, are they just gonna kill off all of is it called Divinity's Edge or whatever it is? I don't know. They didn't though. She was like the only main person to die. I wish she wouldn't have died. I feel bad for Bram. I really feel bad for Bram. Because now he has no mother. I don't even know if his dad's alive either. So he may have no family. That's real sad, dude. And then Fallon, like, I thought Fallon had killed Air. And maybe kind of played a part in it, but I was just like, no, you don't. And then she actually ended up becoming a monster and turned into one of those Mordor monsters, which I thought was about right, about what should have happened. Then we killed her, you know, later on. I really enjoyed the part about, you know, going in and rescuing the prisoners, but there wasn't a lot of prisoners. I mean, it must have been just like 5% of the people on the packs, I mean, on the ships actually survived, you know? You know? So, there's not a lot of people. I was really expecting, I don't know, I guess I expected us to rescue a bunch of them, but I like how they layered it out. You know, you rescue one early on, and then, you know, we found 2 more, and then, you know, 1 more, you know, so they paced it out good. You know, really the whole pacing was behind, like, we're finding one of this person from Divinity's Edge, then another person, then 2 other people, then 1 other person, you know, it's good pacing. I left Glint's egg in Tarir. That was cool. Like I bring the egg there, and you know, and they're like, we just so happen to be the people that's gonna take care of it. Woo, are meant to take care of it. You know, part of me, I don't believe them, but at the same time, the story has sold them so well as the good guys, as the handlers of the egg, that there's no way they're gonna end up being bad guys. It's very convenient that a whole city was there just waiting for the egg. So yeah, I mean, it's cool, I guess. Um, Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Um, but I'm happy at the very end how they continue. I felt like the story was just like, is that it for the egg? Like that was really lackluster if that was just it for the egg. But I like how the very end that spark of ley line energy just hits the egg and you can see the thing inside the egg moving. You're like, oh, that's gonna be something pretty soon, you know. So I like that. That was pretty cool. Uh, Scruffy sacrificed herself, which I mean, at first it felt like a big downside, but then she was like, then Timey was like, I can rebuild it better with more weapons, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. Um, so it really wasn't that impactful, really. Um, we finally kill Fallon, which I thought she was dead because I didn't really pay attention to the lore in the core game that much. Um, and I never actually played. I never got to play Twilight Arbor dungeon. I never have. Um, you know, I came back after a break, like a year-long break, and by that time everybody was already done with dungeons. So I just never got to go back and do it. It was like the hardest dungeon to do, and like everybody just didn't want to do it. So unless you were experienced in berserker gear, you know, I was just like, yeah, maybe not. How do I get experience with a dungeon if nobody ever lets me do the dungeon? Anyways, then we killed Mordremoth. I mean, I think that's the thing. We killed Fallon and then killed Mordremoth. We killed Mordremoth? That was. I felt the battle was really lackluster. It didn't feel like fighting a legendary. It didn't feel like fighting an elder dragon. You know, at least in the Zaitan battle, when you're fighting him, he's like flying over you, and you're like, "Holy shit, this dude's large." You know, and even then, that battle wasn't that good either. But this time, it's like we weren't even fighting him. And I'll say this, you know, if you play Dragons, whatever, what's the map called? Dragon Stand. If you play the meta game of Dragon Stand, at the very end of Dragon Stand, you actually face the mouth of Mordremoth, which is like a champion of Mordremoth. You know, that's a much cooler battle than this battle was. A much cooler battle. Basically, it's this big like snake type thing, and he just goes around and like he'll land and you have to attack him a bunch, and then he'll like blow up islands, and then he'll summon champions. If you don't kill the champion in like enough, or not even a champion, it's like a purple thing, I don't know. If you don't kill that fast enough, then he just kills everybody, I think. But I mean, I actually got to participate in one, and it actually finished and we beat him, and I thought that the whole battle was just effing epic. This battle was kind of chaotic and not that epic. It really wasn't that cool of a battle, honestly. It wasn't the difficulty. It wasn't like, oh, this is too easy. It was just like, the only cool part was like, oh, he's gonna do a big AoE. You better fly up in the sky. Why wasn't there a part like, he's gonna do an AoE, better use the mountain mushrooms. He's gonna do an AoE, you better, I don't know. You know, utilize, I mean, they could at least done bouncing mushrooms and gliding. You know, because people would have had that at that point, you know. Some form of bouncing mushrooms, some form of gliding, that would have been good. Um, but just for the gliding, you know, that was the best part of the battle. Everything else was just like, you know, I summoned a friend. Well, I'm gonna go make them in. I don't know. In the battle against Air and her dog, and then the battle against you know, other himself. That's interesting because if I would have chosen Kate instead of what's his face, his name escapes me at the moment. If I would have chosen Kate instead, I probably would have faced her inner demon, whatever it was. It might have been Fallon again. I don't know. So that's interesting. I will say I hate that the battle against Air bugged out because I didn't get to have any of the dialogue that comes near the end where, you know, Bran was saying, "Oh, she sounded like herself, her original self," and all that kind of stuff. And even then, the battle against what's his face, his inner demon, Canuck's inner demon. Hey, I remembered his name. Wasn't that interested in him in a fight. He just threw bombs. He just ran around, shoot them, and it took forever. But that's it, you know. The battles. I mean, I mean, it was a long battle, the whole thing, but it just wasn't that impactful, and it didn't feel like, oh my God, we're fighting an Elder Dragon. It just felt like we were facing another champion, you know, you know, like this is the Elder Dragon's eye or something, you know, um, like Zaitan's eye, you know, I can't believe we killed Mordremoth. I mean, it seems too weird that, you know, and that they figured out his weakness like that. It just came in the very end. They didn't have to do any research, and it was just like, well, how do we kill Mordremoth? You kill his mind. What? Now, I do like the symbology of it, where like, you know, like Savari, they have this dream when they're first born that kind of tells them what they're meant to do in life. So like Mordremoth, you can enter the dream with him and like kill him there. So that's kind of cool. But I just felt like maybe that shouldn't have been the whole battle. Maybe like you get him like 50% in his mind, and then he pushes you out of it, and you have to fight him in his physical form. I think that would have been a better idea than just have it 100% of the battle happen in his mind, where I don't know. There wasn't enough epic bosses in this story. There really wasn't. Like I didn't fight like a legendary wyvern at any point. I thought for sure we'd fight like a legendary wyvern. That's what it's called, a purple legendary. You know, or some more bigger earthy viney monsters, you know, like big boss dudes, like in the release video, you know, that you see that vine monster like peering down when his mouth, you know, but there really wasn't, you know, there wasn't a lot of cool boss battles in this. Then we killed Traherne, which was understandable. I was gonna not press anything and just see what happens, see if like Mordremoth would just awaken and kill everybody. But it forced me. It forced the character to attack him. It didn't even give me the option. It just did it. What's cool is, I think this is very, very cool, is you actually have where is it? My inventory is a mess. You have the broken Calabalg. I want so badly. I want to preview this thing. Okay, that thing is small compared to it's supposed to be a great sword, dude. It's not supposed to be no dang sword. It's supposed to be a great sword. So it's supposed to be big, dude, big. But hopefully, maybe there's a collectible. I'm hoping there is a collectible series where you can collect this piece and other pieces, and it will form the actual Calabalg, whatever. That would be so wicked to have the actual Calabalg, and make it ascended so you can transfer between your characters, and just do that for all the main characters' weapons. So like Cave's daggers, I don't know how you would do it for two of them. You can make one Cave's dagger. You can have Ritlog's sword, his fiery sword. Oh, dude, they could so do that. I'd be so pumped about that, dude. Just, oh, it'd be so good, dude. Oh, man. I don't know if it's here, but you got, so I mean, we killed Traherne. It's sad to see him go. So I guess it really was Air and Traherne died. And I guess Fallon too, but she's a bad guy. She was supposed to die anyways. So really, Air and Traherne. So what does that leave Divinity's Edge at? Leaves that Zoja, who is hurt, Logan Thackeray, who is hurt, Ritlock is perfectly fine. Kaith is perfectly fine. Is that it? I think that may be it. Because Traherne is dead and Air is dead, so that's it. I don't know if they're going to stay together as a group or anything. I wouldn't think so, with two of them being hurt and some of them being alive. But I do think Divinity's Edge 2.0, or whatever they call the new group, is pretty amazing. I love them. I love them. I absolutely can relate. I can relate to like each and every character. You know, Timing is so funny and so smart, and it's awesome. And Bram is like, you know, a cool warrior, and he loves his mom. Oh man, it's gonna be a story to tell forever. I mean, like into the future, like that story is just gonna be, you know, how is it gonna go from here on? That's gonna be something I want to learn. Like, how is it gonna handle that from now on? Um, you know, and I'm hoping Canuck joins Divinity's Edge or Destiny's Edge. That's what it is. It's Destiny's Edge. I hope Canuck joins Destiny's Edge 2.0 because he did me right the entire story. He didn't skip, and he said it multiple times. He said you know, Mordremoth's in my head and he's driving me crazy, but I'm not gonna turn bad. I want Canuck on my team. I want Canuck more than I want Kate, even though Kate can probably kick more butt. Um, so like Bram, Tammy, Canuck, me, Marjorie, and Casimir, and Rox. I mean, that's the team right there. That's the team. That's the team, dude. I love that team. I don't know what Ridlock's gonna do. I guess Ridlock. I mean, I don't know. Maybe with his new Herald abilities, Ridlock will go back to his lands and will have a better chance fighting off the ghost of Ascalon or whatever. Um, maybe. I don't know what Kate is gonna do. And then of course Logan and Moja. The names are getting all messed up in my head. But overall, I thought the story was all right. It clocked in about 6 hours for the story. And I don't know if I would say I rushed or I took my time, so I would say about 6 hours is about average. It's a bit short. It is a bit short. You know, I felt the you know, there was 8 chapters in season 2 Living World, and I would say each one took about an hour to an hour and a half. So it ended up being closer to like 12 hours, at least for me. So I mean, season 2 was, you know, twice as long. And then the main story, you can't even compare it. And then Living World Season 1 was completely different because most of it took part in the real world. But it was a little bit short. Um, but I don't think the length really bugs me that much. Um, because I know next year we're going to get more Living World Season 3. So the story will continue on and stuff. I think my biggest issues is that we killed Mordremoth that easily. The battle wasn't that epic. And there wasn't a lot of like Mordrum epic bosses throughout the process, you know? And I kind of wish there would have been a point where we got to use Zoja and Destiny's Edge and Destiny's Edge 2.0 teaming up against, at the same time, teaming up against Mordremoth. I think that would have been awesome to actually work with them. But I guess we kind of did that in, I don't know. I would love to see them combine forces. But now it's kind of hard. We're like, now it doesn't have as much oomph now that Air is dead. Because that's like a connection right there between the two groups that's now dissolved. Zoja, that's what her name is. It was good. And I mean, there's a bunch of items they gave out, you know, creating backpacks and stuff. And I'm hoping, I want to check some right now. Now that I got the story done, can I buy some more of these collectibles that weren't available? Please tell me I can buy some of these collectibles that weren't available. I could buy this one that wasn't available. Everything else, I don't know how to do. I mean, unlock the appropriate collection, but what collection? I don't even know. That's an issue with this expansion. A lot of this stuff it don't even explain how to do it, and there's no guides online because the expansion just came out 2 weeks ago. Either way, how many points is it? 300 again? Please don't tell me it's 300 again. 500 for a collectible?
Thank you.
That's another subject. I've done the math, and yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, because you get on average 3 airplane parts per thing you open, so 500 you'll have to open like on average like 150 of those things. I mean, it's probably closer to like 100, maybe 125. of the things. That's just ridiculous for that one collectible. That's way too much. They need to reduce those in price probably by a third, by 2/3. Um, okay, well that's it for the expansion. I'm gonna end the stream because I'm gonna watch Walking Dead in 30 minutes. And I'm happy I was able to, it ended in time for me to not miss Walking Dead because I love Walking Dead. I hope everybody have fun. Um, I enjoyed the expansion a lot, the story, but I don't know if like it was worth the hype. Like I waited 2 weeks and I was like, I'm gonna go through in one process, and honestly, it let me down. It wasn't that good in my opinion. It had some good points, but like it doesn't feel like an epic story. It really doesn't. And if it really had to be converted into season two, I mean like into like a season two living world type system where it was broken up into chapters you had to you sell, it'd only be like half the size or something, and it wouldn't be worth like $5. I mean really, I mean it just wasn't. It has some cool points, but it's not a story I'm gonna look back on and be like, but you remember this, you remember this, you remember this, you remember this. It's not gonna really have that many memorable things to me. So I'm kind of disappointed in that actually. Oh well. I enjoyed playing through it. It was short, but I hope everybody had a good time.